Did you know that Mother's Day wasn't always an excuse to buy flowers and gifts? Behind this date are profound stories, ancient rituals, and tributes that cross cultures and centuries. Today, we're going to discover the true origins of Mother's Day, and I assure you, it's not what you expect. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe. It helps us create more content. And now, join me on this exciting journey.
Elba is 10 years old, with beautiful black hair that shines in the sun and a backpack full of colored pencils. She loves stories, maps, and above all, her mom. One Monday morning at school, teacher Ilian began to explain. Today we're going to learn about Mother's Day, which is a very special holiday honoring all mothers. This day is celebrated in many countries around the world, but on different dates depending on the location. Where does this celebration come from? First, I want to tell you a little history. The first Mother's Day celebrations began a long time ago in Greece. There people honored Rhea, the mother of gods like Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. The Romans adopted this tradition and called it Hilaria. This celebration took place on March the 15th at the temple of Cybele and lasted 3 days. During this time, people offered gifts and offerings. Later, with the arrival of Christianity, the festival changed a little, and they began to honor the Virgin Mary, who is the mother of Jesus. Mothering Sunday in England. In England, in the 17th century, they celebrated something similar called Mothering Sunday. On that day, children went to church and then returned home with gifts for their mothers. Also, since many people worked far from home, they were given the day off that Sunday so they could spend time with their mothers. Modern Mother's Day. Now, the Mother's Day. We know today began in 1865, when a woman named Julia Ward Howe organized peaceful celebrations and demonstrations in Boston. During these celebrations, mothers who had suffered greatly during the American Civil War gathered to demand peace. Julia thought it would be a good idea to have a special day to remember all mothers. At the same time, another woman named Anne Jarvis, who lived in Virginia, also organized meetings for mothers to gather and discuss important issues. These meetings continued for many years. Mother's Day becomes official. In 1905, Anne Jarvis passed away, and her daughter, Anna Jarvis, decided to honor her mother by organizing an annual Mother's Day celebration. She wanted it to be celebrated on the second Sunday in May. In 1907, Anna began asking many important people to help make this day official throughout the United States. Finally, in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson signed a decree, and Mother's Day was officially celebrated every year. Professor Ilian concludes, and that's how Mother's Day, as we know it today, was born. It's a day to thank all mothers for their love and everything they do for us. Before ending the class, Professor Ilian wrote on the board, "Task, research the origin of Mother's Day." As the other children sighed, Elba smiled. She knew this would be an adventure. That night, with a blank notebook, after counting the money in her piggy bank, Elba made her plan. "I'll travel the world. I'll visit every country where Mother's Day is celebrated. It'll be like a secret mission, with lots of love," she said, while drawing an airplane. And so began the most beautiful journey of his life. First stop, United States, where it all began. Elba stepped off the plane with her notebook ready. She walked through the gardens of an old church in Virginia, where a very kind lady in a lace hat whispered to her, "I'm Anne Jarvis. I dreamed of a day when all mothers would be remembered with white flowers like carnations. My daughter Anna made that dream come true." Elba watched as Anna wrote letters, organized events, and knocked on doors to encourage everyone to celebrate their mothers. And in 1914, President Wilson signed the decree. The second Sunday in May would be forever for mothers, Anna told him, smiling. Elba wrote everything down and said, "Thank you, Mrs. Jarvis. Your love crossed borders. Second stop, Mexico, the fixed day of love." The plane landed in Mexico City on May 10th. Everywhere there were flowers, serenades, and smiling mothers. A boy named Diego explained to him, "Here we always celebrate May 10th, no matter what day it falls on." It's been that way since 1922, thanks to a journalist named Rafael Alducin. Elba looked at a plaza full of mariachis singing Las Mañanitas, while the mothers clapped excitedly. And did you know that this date also has a special meaning for the Virgin of Guadalupe, a grandmother added. Elba wrote, Mexico, where the heart sings every May 10th. Stop 3, Colombia, 2 dates, 1 love. In Bogota, Elba smelled coffee and hugs. Here we celebrate Mother's Day on the second Sunday in May, a girl named Mariana told him. President Pedro Nel Ospina made it official in 1926. And was it always like this? Elba asked. Almost. But in my city, Cucuta, we changed it. There. It's celebrated on the last Sunday in May. Some say it was for commercial reasons, others say it was due to tradition. Elba thought that didn't matter that much. What mattered was love. Colombia celebrates in 2 Sundays, but with 1 heart, he wrote in large letters. Stop 4. Argentina, Mothering Sunday and the Saint. Elba bundled up a little more when she arrived in Buenos Aires, where the wind danced through the trees. There she met Tomás, a boy with a light blue and white scarf. Here we celebrate Mother's Day on the 3rd Sunday of October, in honor of the motherhood of Saint Mary, the mother of Jesus, he explained proudly. Oh, how beautiful, Elba said, as she watched families in the parks sharing mate, hugs, and cakes. It's spring, and that makes it special too, Tomás added. Elba wrote in her notebook, in Argentina, the flowers of love bloom in October. Stop 5. Bolivia, the heroines of Coronelia. Elba flew over the mountains to Cochabamba. There, on the hill of San Sebastian, the wind whispered stories of bravery. A lady with long braids spoke to her in a firm voice. Here, on May 27th, we honor the heroines of the Coronilla. In 1812, when the men were in battle, the mothers united to defend the city from the Spanish army. And what did they do? Elba asked, amazed. They climbed the hill with courage. Many lost their lives protecting their children. Elba felt a lump in her throat. She wrote with tears of emotion, in Bolivia, Mother's Day was born from a courageous cry. Our home is sacred. Stop 6. Brazil, feminism, faith, and flowers. In Porto Alegre, Elba arrived just in time to see a party with choirs, flowers, and flags. A young woman told him. The first celebration was in 1918, but in 1932, President Vargas made it official, the second Sunday in May. Why did you ask for it? Elba asked. It was thanks to feminists who sought to value women after achieving the right to vote. Later, in a church, a lady said to him, in 1947, the Catholic Church also included it in its calendar. Brazil celebrates love with strength and faith, Elba wrote, as the scent of jasmine enveloped her. Stop 7. Chile, between Decree and Commerce. Elba landed in Santiago with her backpack a little fuller and her heart too. Here, Mother's Day was decreed on May 10th, but, said a little girl with dark braids and a mischievous smile, almost all of us celebrated on the second Sunday in May for commercial reasons. Like an unwritten agreement, Elba said, laughing. In Chile, Mother's Day is celebrated with or without a calendar, but always with love. Stop 8. Costa Rica, the Virgin and the national holiday. Elba arrived in San Jose just as the parks were filling with flowers and smiles. Here we celebrate Mother's Day on August 15th because it's the day of the Assumption of the Virgin Mary, explained a woman selling flowers on a corner. And it's a holiday, shouted a boy running with a flag in his hand. There's no school. Elba smiled. In Costa Rica, Mom is so important that a national holiday is dedicated to her. And in his notebook, he drew a virgin surrounded by butterflies. Stop 9. Ecuador, an inherited Sunday. The plane landed in Quito as the sun set behind the volcanoes. There, Elba met Luz, a girl who was making a card with recycled paper. In Ecuador, we celebrate Mother's Day on the second Sunday in May, like in the United States. And since when? Elba asked. For many years. It's a tradition that's crossed borders. Elba wrote, Ecuador borrowed a Sunday and filled it with hugs. Stop 10. Spain, May Sunday and a poem. Upon arriving in Madrid, Elba saw shop windows full of signs that read, Happy Mother's Day. We celebrate it here on the first Sunday in May, a woman in a bookstore told him. It's not official, but it's very beloved. Since when? Since 1965. It used to be celebrated in December, but it gradually changed. The lady gave him a small book with a poem by Julio Menendez that said, Mother, your laughter is my home. Elba copied it into her notebook and added, in Spain, Mom is verse in Sunday. Stop 11, Italy, faith, flowers and hearts. Elba marveled at the flowers at the Florence market. It all started here in the 1950s, a man in a green apron explained. First in Bordighera for commercial reasons, but also for religious ones. In a church in Assisi, a nun told him, for us, the mother is not just biological. She is a symbol of love and the meeting of cultures. That's beautiful, Elba said excitedly. He wrote, Italy celebrates the mother as a bridge of faith, flowers, and hope. Stop 12, Panama between presidents and the Virgin. In Panama City, Elba boarded a small tram with a very elegant lady. Did you know that it was originally celebrated on May 11th, but later changed to December 8th? Why? Elba asked. For the Immaculate Conception, although it was decided not to place religious emphasis. Elba noted, Panama unites the civil and the sacred in a single embrace. Stop 13, Peru, a decree full of love. Lima welcomed her with a gray sky and the aroma of freshly baked bread. In 1924, President Leguía declared by law that the second Sunday in May would be Mother's Day, a teacher at a school told her. They started so early, Elba said. Yes, because we knew that Mom deserves a day, but so does everyone else. In Peru, being a mother is as important as the law itself, Elba wrote. Stop 14, Dominican Republic, May to the end. In Santo Domingo, Elba danced merengue with a group of children. Mother's Day is the last Sunday in May here, explained a grandmother who was knitting while sitting in her rocking chair. What a great way to close out the month. Dominican Republic bids farewell to May with music and love for Mom, Elba wrote, while her notebook already had more drawings than pages. Stop 15. Return to Colombia, the most special day. Elba returned home to Santa Marta, just in time for the second Sunday in May. Her mother was waiting for her at the airport with open arms. And how did it go? Amazing. I learned that in every country, mothers are celebrated differently, but always with lots of love. And that here in Colombia, you have your day too. That afternoon, Elba presented her work in class, showing her notebook full of memories, drawings, and phrases. And at the end, he said, no matter the country, the language, or the date, being a mother is an act of love celebrated all over the world. Happy Mother's Day!
If you like it, please like and subscribe. It helps us create more content.